My name is Raymond Carney. I'm the creator of Compound Limited Apparel, and this is Stitch.
What is fashion?
So fashion is, it's apparel, it's what you wear, but it's an attitude, it's a vibe, it's what you bring is with your presence when you walk into the room, right? Fashion is allowing me to express myself without having to say anything, come through, and whether it's a mood, whether it's an action, whether it's it's a persona, all of that can be simplified by what I have on my body.
In your opinion, what is an absolute fashion no-no?
Fashion no-no, socks with slides, like Birkenstocks. It depends on the scene. For me, it's, if we're out in public and we're doing things out and about, like the look just wasn't it for me. If we're at the house, however, I wear Crocs like in the house. We have house shoes for a reason, but.
What is your fashion go-to?
Fashion go-to, everything's built off sneakers for me. I'm real big into sneaker culture, so honestly, depending on how I'm feeling for the day, I'm gonna pick the shoes and then build everything outside of that. Everything goes around, from the socks to the garment, the shirt, the pants, the hats, everything is color coordinated based on if I got a new pair of J's, if there's a new drop, new color palettes, like we just build everything off the shoes.
Can you tell us the story behind your brand?
Yeah, so I've been in the space for a number of years, and I had worked with a lot of companies previously, whether as brand ambassador, influencer, some position to make them money. And the apparel company I was working with previously, about 2 years ago, they had announced that they purchased the print shop that was making their stuff. When they did that, they announced, hey, we're gonna be offering this service, freely to other people that wanna get involved. I had a conversation with my wife about, I really want to do this, and we drove up to Daytona Beach, had the conversation, got some branding done. I knew the direction I wanted to take the company, and a couple weeks later, like, we had a pre-sale leading up to the Olympia in 2021, and we just hit the ground running. Now Compound has turned into a resource for me to be able to give back to the community that I'm such a big part of. The powerlifting, we go to these events and we see, we want to have big shows and big experiences and prize money and all these great things, but that money has to come from somewhere. So with the brand, it allows me to generate that income to be able to give back to the community that I'm such a big part of.
Can you tell us about your brand name? What does it mean?
So Compound, the idea behind Compound stemmed from this thought of 1 + 1 = 3. My personal message has always been constant progression, and I wanted to find a message and a way to represent being able to take bits and pieces and tools and resources from all walks of life. From the strength community, we have bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, and everything was so separated. But what I'm trying to do is show people, like, these are tools. We take these tools from all these different places and put them in your toolbox so you can create something and continue to make progress. Know when to use what tools, when, and we're kind of blurring the lines between different separations of strength community. It's growing much further past the gym to now it's everybody, it's everyone. It's whether you're in streetwear, whether you're in gym apparel, whether it's just everyday loungewear, like, the brand is growing far past just the gym community.
What is your logo and how did you create it?
So the logo itself, we started with an essential box logo, right? I was always a big fan of what Supreme had done with their message, their branding. So we took that, we just had a giant box foundation logo. From there, I've actually taken complete creative control of the brand. I was previously working with some designers and some other people doing artwork. Now I do everything in-house. So what we started with was simple branding, simple box logos, which has stemmed into full graphic tees, some collegiate style prints, some graphic style prints. As we get further into cut and sew and shorts and other items, like, we're expanding, but that also comes down to, as I get better, the apparel gets better.
What was the world's first impression of your brand?
First impression of the brand. We had done a pre-sale right before the 2021 Mr. Olympia contest, and when I came out, it was a blend of sneaker culture and streetwear getting brought into the gym scene. I wanted to find something that was a much cleaner look for people in the fitness community. There is a lot of brands putting out hardcore or gothic or real dark imagery, or on the other side of that spectrum, it's real gimmicky looks and barbells and donuts and all things I didn't want to bring. I didn't want to wear, I didn't want to bring that to market. I wanted to have a much cleaner look. So when they first saw it, it was streetwear in the gym. And then it's expanded now to multiple collections. We are expanding into different clientele, whether that be our mental health over ego line, our essentials, even our compound strength specifically for the gym. We're broadening the types of products we're putting out.
What sets Compound apart from other brands?
Attention to detail. Compound is a passion project for me to be able to take everything I love about streetwear and sneaker culture and expose that to an entirely new audience. I'm very big on how things fit, how they feel, how they wear, and I want to be able to provide a better quality product to people in the gym. The community itself is used to tri-blends and real cheap t-shirts, things that rip, they don't wear well. I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to separate my brand from everything else on the market just on quality alone. With all of our premium tees, as soon as you feel it, it's night and day difference between that and everything else that's on the market. That's something that I'm trying to push as we continue to get better. We're getting into cut and sew now, which is something I'm super excited about just because now I can make things from scratch and they will all to specific measurements. We're getting our brand new sweat shorts are a big hit. It lets me have confidence to know I'm heading in the right direction.
What type of customer do you see wearing your brand?
So the brand started honestly in the gym setting, the gym culture. And in that culture, we saw the writing on the wall that there was a need for something different. Powerlifting particularly only has a few select brands that is actually putting out good merchandise. But even in that, streetwear, you see there's the top end lines and then there's a bunch of these bottom like startup companies and these ideas that have no real substance. I'm trying to bring something with value, something that has a message and show people behind the scenes and give them vulnerability so they see this is a family run business. This is small, but it's also something for everybody. Whether you are in the gym, whether you're going out to Friday night with your buddies, whether you're just looking for everyday wear. It's a very casual line, but it's something that we can meet the needs of a much broader audience.
Can you tell us about the creative process that inspires you?
So, especially because now I've taken over complete control, what I found with the creative process, I couldn't find a way to tell someone else what was in my head. I could see it, but I couldn't articulate what I was seeing. And I would find inspiration from all sorts of stuff, whether it's a picture, prints, other people's garments, there's different components from things that I like, that I don't like, that I'll see a text and the way it's written. I'm like, I can use that, or I can see a picture or something online and I can create. And now we have full creative control to where I can create anything I want. A lot of this is trial and error to allow me to refine my skills with design work, but also it's putting out things for the public, especially with the age of social media. I can do a design, post it to Instagram. If we get great feedback, cool, we're onto something. If not, well, we can move on to the next thing. But the process of creating is what really inspires me. It's taking inspiration, making something, and then just doing it all over again. I don't think there's ever gonna be an end point to that process. It's just constantly learning. I can create more. And I think that's always been my vice personally, is I want more.
How long does it take to create a design?
That process has been sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes it'll take me days or weeks to be able to properly put things together. I'm very big on making sure that things are placed correctly on the garment so they wear right. I'll have images that might look good for maybe a phone screen background or maybe a desktop background that I would never put on a garment. Doesn't mean we don't create it. I'm very big on making sure that once we put out products to wear, that it's streamlined. But that process, I'm one of the members at Gorilla Bench Training Center. We just did a new design for one of them. Took me all of 10 minutes to make. I knew what I wanted to make. I saw the imagery, whipped it up like nothing. This shirt, however, it took me quite a bit of time to kind of nail down exactly how I wanted everything placed. So it's a variable time.
Can you elaborate on the designs you brought with you?
Yeah, so first one we have here, this is our brand new Live for the Moment Blossom Tee. This is in our mental health collection. This is something, floral is very big right now for not only there's a summertime vibe, but just where the fashion trend is going. This is something, I'm very big on the message, right? It's remember to appreciate the present moment, don't dwell on the past. The future is beautiful, and I thought the flowered representation did that, just kind of hit the nail on the head. I also very, very big on simple collegiate print, something that we can wear straight to the point. It can match well with a lot of different options. I like the small details, like our monograms we'll put on the sleeves. We do our own tagging on everything. That way the garment is compound limited apparel. Last item we have, this is one of my favorite prints, The World Is Yours. We actually did this. It was a dual inspiration from old school Italian films with Star Wars, actually. It was May the 4th when I had this. When I saw the image, I'm like, this is perfect timing. I thought it was kind of funny, gimmicky, but at the same time, like the print itself came out really, really clean. All of these are printed. Black shirts are gonna be printed on our premium tees, something that has a little bit of viscose stretch to it, so that way you still get that buttery soft feel, but there's stretch to it and it holds its weight over time. The heathered options we have here, it's a higher grade blend that we use just to make sure that it doesn't tear, doesn't rip, but something I'm been very partial to. Being a bigger guy, I have to know that I can wear it. I can not destroy the garment over 1 or 2 washes, that it's gonna hold up over a period of time. As a power lifter, I'm kind of hard on my clothes, so if I put it out, no, we've tested this extensively and it passes the test.
What fabric and materials did you use for these designs?
Most of the fabrics, I'm very big on feel. I'm very big on quality for not only the initial, when you get it out of the package, like what is the customer experience the first time they feel the garment, but also how does it wash, how does it wear? We have cotton poly blends. The viscose cotton is something I'm very partial to, just to make sure you still maintain that buttery soft feel, but you feel like you have a new t-shirt on every time you wear it. Even with our lightweight stuff, this is something I've researched. This isn't a next level Bella canvas. Like we did a lot of R&D on these to make sure that our lightweight options gave you the same customer experience as our premium options. But these are stuff, again, cotton poly blends, very simple. It's just when you feel them for the first time, you'll understand. It sets us apart from almost anybody on the market right now, something I'm extremely proud of.
Items or accents we should be aware of?
So a lot of the small details you'll notice, I pay attention to a lot of the minor things, such as making sure that all of the tags have our logos on them, all of the cuts. As a bigger guy, I'm going to beta test all of the products initially. So I will put them through the ringer. If they pass my test, I'll give them to the team, men, women, all different shapes and sizes, so we can kind of get a sense for how does it wear over time from different bodies. After that point, once we get it to the customer, we know that this wears well, whether it fits good on the arms, the shoulders, the chest, it's not too suffocating, the neckline is very good, they don't deform over washes. It's the quality on these, it's something I pride myself on, to make sure everybody's comfortable, and those details matter to me. When we package it, everything is individually sealed, like just the customer experience, getting the package from us. We're family run, so it's me, my wife, my little girls packing up the orders in the house, getting to you. I personally will reach out to anybody who orders to me, whether it's a text message, whether it's a video message, something that I feel sets us apart from a lot of the other brands.
How would you incorporate these designs in an outfit?
So we are a very casual, basic type of brand. Everything we have right now is currently gonna be either premium or casual t-shirts. We have some long sleeve options. We have a various amount of short options, but whether you want to throw on a pair of Jordans, put one of our new mesh shorts on with an oversized tee. If you want something a little bit more classic, go with the premium options. We have a broad spectrum of items on the line right now. I think the website currently has about 60 different options available, whether through color variants or new design prints. You can wear them with jeans and a t-shirt. You can wear them in the gym. You can dress them up. We haven't gone full men's fashion just yet because we're waiting. Cut and sew options are coming very, very soon. But for right now, it's a real casual, just a streetwear vibe.
How can people develop their own style?
You have to be true to who you are. Style is very much up to the individual. whether that's how you wear something, the color palettes that you decide to go with, the prints, the text, like all the little details comes down to your personality. If you're a very loud person, you can show that without ever having to say anything. If you're very classic or very clean, you can wear stuff and then throw on some chains, throw on your jewelry, just kind of add those accent pieces to show. It might be simple, it might be basic, but we pay attention to details. So style is always gonna be up to the individual.
How has starting your brand affected your life?
Starting the brand has exponentially made my life better. It has given me a creative outlet to put what my thoughts are on paper, but also it has become an outlet for me to give back to the community. The brand has stemmed multiple other business opportunities that come from Compound. I'm a champion powerlifter that's involved with Florida USPA, and as we continue to run meets and get behind the scenes to sponsor different events, put up prize money, you're gonna see me on the platform as an athlete, but you'll also see me running platforms, spotting and loading, making sure that the event, everything gets set up correctly. I wanna show the other side of the brand, so where we have a product to sell, but when you buy from us, you know that money goes right back into giving the lifters and the athletes the experience that I wish I had myself. So it's kind of full circle. This has, since we started, the amount of new opportunities that have stemmed from Compound is crazy, and I couldn't be excited for what the future holds.
What change did you have to make personally to see your brand succeed?
This is a big one. So when I started the brand, I'm active duty military. I thought having a drop shipping service was gonna be the move. That way I could continue to create, and the brand was never gonna be slowed down by if I was deployed, if I was out of the country, if I was gonna be TDY'd or anywhere other than at my house. That was a learning curve for me to figure out. The people that we started with taught me so much, and I will forever grateful for them. But what you find is, in order to scale a business, you need to figure out how to be as efficient as possible. We took everything in-house this last year to designing, shipping, printing, everything we do internally. Not only did it make the cost of doing business much more effective for us, but now we can give the customer a better experience because we control everything. I'm no longer waiting for someone else to make my stuff. We just do it ourselves. If someone wants a one-off print, a custom item, we do things for kids all the time. All my buddies with sons and daughters, I love seeing the little ones run around with Compound apparel on. That type of freedom only comes from doing things yourself. So the learning curve of starting with somebody and then having to learn to be completely self-sufficient. Now we're getting into the mix of how do we scale. The business is growing faster than I could have ever expected, and now it's, my house is full of inventory, what do I do? So figuring out those next steps will be a challenge, but all good problems to have.
Has there ever been a time where you felt like giving up on your brand?
Yeah, during that first year, we had so much momentum. We did a pre-sale order to start the company, and right after the Olympia, we were riding a lot of good momentum. We decided to sponsor a local powerlifting event that I was competing at. We did a one-off colorway, the Miami Vice colorways for the event. We did all the promo for it leading up to it, and it was great. And then right after that, business kind of died. I ran into a hiccup with my printing service, and we went from trying to get products out every 6 weeks to there was a 5-month gap between season 3 and season 4 during our first year. During that loss of momentum, I had no idea how we were gonna rebound. And when I did put the drop out, the amount of support I got was not at all what I expected. I just spent thousands of dollars on the inventory, and we did not move as much as I wanted to in the slightest. It was one of those times where I had to really look and say, if I'm gonna do this, I've got to figure out how to make this, be cost effective, but something that we can manage at a much higher pace. In fashion particularly, it always comes down to what do you do for me now? It's the most recent, it's, hey, there's a new drop of, there's new J's coming out, there's this event that's going, you've got to be able to meet the needs of the customers based on what's happening in real time. Waiting for 3, 4, 5 months in between drops just is not, it's not cutting it. That's been one of the biggest challenges for me to really look at. If this is going to be sustainable, it has to make sense for cost and for us to be able to continue to put things out.
What has been the highest point of your brand so far?
Every week I find that we are hitting new heights. And this previous weekend, we were fortunate enough to be a sponsor of the Iron Nightmare 5 down at Fort Pierce. Now to stand shoulder to shoulder with some of the biggest brands in the space and know we belong is amazing. But by the end of the day, to see over half the people in the building had something compound on their body. We had people coming to the booth, like we sold out most of my inventory before noon. And people were changing into our shorts, our shirts, just seeing all the pictures after the fact. It's crazy to see how an idea of I want to make something has now stemmed to hundreds and hundreds of people really, resonating with the message and seeing it's much bigger than just, hey, I bought a t-shirt, right? You see the message behind it. You see the process and the grind and everything that goes into making this a reality. And then being able to share that with another person and let them in on what we're building. I think we're building such a broad community. It's something special. And every day I meet somebody new. Every day someone messages me with a new story, new videos. And I'm a big believer. I lead from the front, but I'm trying to bring everybody with me.
What is your #1 problem with the fashion industry and getting your products to customers?
#1 problem with the fashion industry right now is it's so saturated. I think in the age of technology and where media is at, it is so easy to start a brand and to try to come into the space and say, hey, I'm a t-shirt company, or hey, I'm an apparel brand. You can type into an AI program right now and pretty much get your entire brand done in 5 minutes, right? They'll give you your logos, your imagery, all of your quotes, your mission statements, but it takes away from the substance of what's really behind this. On the flip side of that coin, it also makes it extremely easy to be able to be successful because that entry level now, that ceiling, that barrier of entry is so low. We're gonna push to, now everybody has the option, so what's holding you back? So not only does it create a very saturated market where you gotta kind of sift through a lot of the nonsense to really get to something that has some real value to it, but also it pushes the creative people. Like now, if you don't know how to do, work Photoshop or Illustrator, you don't have to. There's so many other ways to go about it now. You can type it into a chat GPT and all of a sudden your imagery is there. You take photos, plug it into a program, and all your videos are edited like that. So what's holding you back from being successful is simply yourself.
How do you see fast fashion affecting the world?
Again, it's just saturated. I think there's so many brands that are coming out that'll pay the Facebook marketing dollars to put their t-shirt in your face, and it's hard to really tell who's behind the brand. It's hard to really see something when you have a funny saying or a catchy slogan or maybe a product that sells really well. But what's after that? Fast fashion comes in and it hits hard, hits fast, but what happens next, right? Most companies aren't making it past year 3, year 5. When you look at the landscape, a lot of the fashion trends, they come and go. These brands are just the same. They're not sticking around for the long haul. I think fast fashion is just, yes, it's trendy, and yes, it might be popular for now, but if there's nothing real with the brand, they'll be gone tomorrow, next week. Like me personally, I'm not overly concerned with stuff like that. I'm investing in the people. I'm investing in the direction that we're going. I'm gonna be here in 3 years. I'm gonna be here in 5 years. Like whether this brand morphs into a different company or a different direction, Compound is gonna continue and grow with the people that are, we're investing in.
If someone was starting a brand, what advice would you give them?
Advice for someone starting, do it yourself. This has been one of the biggest leaps of faith, getting into the space and learning on the fly. And I think most people, it's paralysis by analysis. They have these grand ideas that I'm gonna do these things, and I'm gonna, if I can only figure out how to do a t-shirt or design or do this or do that, and it's like, that all sounds great, but don't let your dreams be dreams. Like if you wanna do this, send it and then figure it out as you go. Half of being in a business is problem solving and figuring out what issues come up and how do you deal with them. As you continue to get better and problem solve and figure things out, not only is the brand gonna develop, your business is gonna get better, you're gonna refine your own personal skills to know, okay, cool, so let's say season 1, we had some hiccups. When season 2 comes out, how do we make that better? and you continue to refine your processes until year 3 comes around and you're making real progress, like that's where the money comes in at. That's where financial freedom comes in at and allows you the opportunity to do more things. So just don't listen to nobody that tells you that you have to pay a designer, that you have to do these things. Yes, they're all tools. You can go to them, they're available. It's very easy to get a hold of people, but trust in yourself and just believe if this is what you want to do, do it.
How do you see compound limited apparel affecting the fitness industry?
The idea behind Compound was to bring more people together. It was essentially meant to show people that whether you have a background in bodybuilding or CrossFit, strongman, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, functional fitness, like regardless, I want you to know that you can take tools and resources from these different ideologies or theories and use them to make real progress. I want to blur the lines between these different segments of strength to show people like we're all after the same thing. We're all after progress. And as that continues to evolve, I think we're going to start seeing a broader spectrum of men, women, and various different sports start coming together and seeing it's okay for the CrossFitter to support the strongman. It's okay for the powerlifter to go to a bodybuilding show. It's okay for a mom of 2 kids to be able to come and join the community with people in their elder years or young kids. Like, I want this community to grow, to know if you're about progress, I'm here for it. And I fully back anything you're trying to do. Our whole tagline was, whatever path you choose, stay ready. And I stand by that firmly of be ready for anything and know you can learn from all these different areas of life to be better, to make real progress.
What shouldn't people wear to the gym?
For me, the big no-nos, I think it's a trend right now. It's the cool thing to be in shape. It's the cool thing to train and show, the 15-second TikTok, gym training footage, and that's great. But when we start seeing a lot of like ripped up, tank tops and, the overly tight jeans and spandex and things like that, I think it's not always appropriate. I think you have to really read the room for where you're at. Personally, I'm not against any type of apparel. I think it's more so just, is it appropriate for the setting you're trying to be at? If we're in a family environment and we're, showing way too much skin, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for that setting. If you're coming to a powerlifting setting and you're trying to get under a barbell, I don't think not having a t-shirt on is necessarily ideal for the occasion. But again, I think it's more situational based. I think a lot of it is just read the room, figure out what your clientele is, who's gonna be around you, and just kind of base it off that. I'm the first person to tell you, like, be you, they'll adjust, but also be mindful of your surroundings.
What should people wear to the gym?
Compound limited apparel. T-shirts, tank tops, things that are gonna be functional for what you're trying to accomplish. We've seen this trend now of wearing your best fit to the gym, and I'm here for it. I'm a big advocate of wear your sneakers. If you have apparel, if you have mesh shorts or things you like to wear, if it's gonna give you confidence, wear them. Wear them with confidence. Walk into a room and know, like, I'm that dude. I think the way you carry yourself, if it makes you feel better, just radiates positive energy and a good mood, and it just kind of puts everyone around you with that same energy. I think momentum's a hard thing to build, but once you have it, keep it going. Everybody around you just gets better because of it.
Where have you received the most support from?
I have received the most support from the strength community here in Florida. We have multiple pockets throughout the country, whether in Michigan, West Coast, East Coast, all the Midwest, and a lot more people are starting to see what I'm trying to do with the brand, and they start to see myself, my wife, the kids, and everybody involved in this. But the state of Florida has really backed me fully, whether it's up in Jacksonville, here in Tampa Bay area, down in Miami, Hialeah area. The community here in Florida is one of the best in the strength community, and to see them fully back everything I'm trying to do, that is solely the reason I'm having the success I am, because as an athlete, they see what I'm doing. Now as a business owner, as a brand owner, they also see what I'm trying to give back to the community, and to see the support is overwhelming. Like, I firmly believe like Florida will be our home for a very long time.
How do you plan to take your brand to the next level?
Right now it's scaling. Right now it's getting more people to see what we're offering, to get the quality product in their hands. You can feel it, you can wear it, and the message of the constant progression and growth and that community aspect we're trying to build, just get that exposed to more people. Right now, we have currently sponsored 5 events already this year. We're looking at another 5 events between now and December. Next year, we're gonna be platform sponsors, title sponsors. You're gonna see me putting more prize money up for these events. Eventually, I'm looking to run my own powerlifting meet, just the Compound Classic, but until we get to that point, it's spreading the message of like, I'm here for you. If you're about progress, I'm here for you.
What do you want people to remember about your brand?
I want people to remember that I care, that the little details matter to me, that if you feel you can talk to the owner of the company, I'm gonna give you the time. If you message me, if you DM the brand page, if you shoot me a text message, if you have my number, if you have any questions, concerns, if I can help you in any way, I'm going to take the time out of my day to do that. I think paying attention to the small details matters to me, and there's nothing too small. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, hit me up. I promise, as the brand owner, I'm going to respond myself. I'm going to give you the time and the attention you deserve, and the appreciation for you taking the time to look at the brand. And whether you purchase something from us, whether it's sharing a product, if you share the page, like whatever, the message gets spread. I just want to give you that experience and know I'm genuinely here for you.
What can the world expect from your brand going forward?
We have a number of different projects we're working on right now. Compound will continue to expand. The different collections are growing. Our essentials line, we are actually going to be maintaining stock year-round. I'm very big with limited apparel. An end game for the brand will be, we will never make more than 100 units of any given product. And when we get to that point where I'm consistently selling out of 100 any given time, I'm going to individualize tag that. So you get product 21 of 100 and make it more of an exclusive type line. With the mental health over ego line, we're actually gonna be working with a bunch of local brands here to expand that. I have a bunch of local designers I'm looking to collab with. The brand is growing very fast, and I'm excited to see next year getting into cut and sew, getting into more events, and locally being able to put the message around more individuals.
Any new pieces coming out soon?
Oh, we actually have 5 new items. We actually have 5 new items dropping next weekend at the Tampa Bay Fit Expo. Brand new color palettes of our best-selling shorts. We are restocking all of our sweat shorts. I have 3 new designs coming out and new color palettes, all of which will be unveiled next weekend. If you're interested in stopping by the booth, I believe it's the 19th and 20th at the fairgrounds. Come by and see us. I'll be competing. We're title sponsors or platform sponsors, and we have the booth when you walk in.
Where can people find and purchase Compound Limited Apparel?
CompoundLimitedApparel.com. If you want to check out the IG page, it's Compound Apparel. My personal page, _tactically_acquired. You can hit me up directly. Everything will be funneled directly to the page. Shopify website, go online. Right now, all of the inventory is getting kind of moved around just because of the in-person events, but we try to keep a good hefty amount of inventory at any given time. Consistently, we're going to be putting drops out every 6 weeks at a minimum, so be on the lookout for all the new stuff. September's already done. I'm working on spooky season now, and Black Friday is right around the corner. So definitely hit me up.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, was it?
Not at all. I appreciate the opportunity, man.